West up, West Coast. Peace. This is Brother Cam, and you kicking it right here on Distortion the Static. It's automatic. I'm a product of Los Angeles, the east side of Los Angeles, between Compton and Watts. I started in the game maybe around 1990, 91. My first record was on the Boys in the Hood soundtrack. A song called Every Single Weekend. That's what introduced me to the game, and my first album came out in early '93, and the first single off of that was Peace Treaty, and that was dealing with the gang truce in L.A. between the Bloods and the Crips right after the Rodney King verdict and subsequent uprising, or so-called Riot number 2. So I've been I've been under the radar a little bit. One of America's most slept on or feared. One of the reasons why I've been, I guess, under the radar, or not fully exposed was my relation or my affiliation with the Nation of Islam and Minister Farrakhan. There's been a lot of propaganda and slander and all kind of negative press that the media machine push about, the organization and what we really about. But, and when I came out in 93, it might have been a little bit ahead of time for what people was ready for. So we had to wait until our people kind of grew up and found out it wasn't, about titles and colors and this and that. It's really about knowledge and mathematics. It ain't no such thing as a black truth, a white truth, a red or a yellow. It's all truth. But you just got to find out, how it affects you and your place in that truth. So everything. With hip hop, since it represents the voice of the youth anyway, and they like to say the rebellious youth, but we really just rebelling against the system failing us. The masses is dissatisfied, so rap, started out as that voice that represent that dissatisfaction. So that's naturally, that's like the art form, but the nation and the information that's coming out of the nation is something I couldn't find nowhere, in no literature, no school books, no colleges, no nothing. So once I finally got a hold of that, and it was about us, me as a black person in America, and truth that went far past slavery and what was imposed on us when we came over here. Once you find out what you really did, and not that you was a monkey in the jungle with a bone in your nose, or a savage. Once you find out that was actually imposed on us, and then you got something to talk about. So I never was really into the blinging and the bras and all of that. If I'm gonna do that, it's gonna be in private. But if I get in front of a mic or a camera or whatever, I gotta represent something bigger than that. So that's the connection between how the Nation of Islam affected my style and my conversation and all of that. And that's what the media fear, because they benefit off of pushing that image and keeping us basically ignorant, so they can constantly rob us and live in luxury while they keep us, fighting for crumbs and dancing and hoeing and pimping and whatever, What I feel about what's being portrayed on television, it's a sad situation. It's basically just dumbing down the whole society, desensitizing us, demoralizing us. It's just all junk. It's junk, mostly it's junk food. It's just like making a meal off of Doritos and bubble gum and, fast food. Is just no nutritional value whatsoever. It might taste good, but it's going to get you sick. You know what I'm saying? And that's what the society is right now. It's sick. I think, for the people that's not really attracted by the messages, in the music and in the media that's being pushed by the machine, hip-hop really started out without the machine. It was just an underground movement, MCs and fans of, that that was saying what they wanted to say without no cut on it, without nobody else's opinion or caring about nobody else's opinion, was free speech. You know what I mean? But as it grew, it turned into something else when corporate America seen that it was $1 billion involved, billions of dollars that could be squeezed out of that. But for the people that love the pure art form, I mean, you just go back to the street. It's the underground art form, and it's a bridge now. It didn't bridge so many classes and cultures and found a common denominator, which is dissatisfaction. Everybody got a voice. I don't know how to sing or hold no note. I know how to talk, and I like music. So it's that simple. So it's something that everybody can come together on, the common denominator that's big. So the machine is pushing one thing. It's trying to redirect it in a stupid direction. But just go back to basics, you know what I'm saying, how it started. And, you can put your ear to the street, hit the mom and pop, the pop stores, the hoods, you know what I'm saying, the ciphers, whatever, you know what I'm saying. That's really what it's about. So don't fall for the hype, you know what I'm saying. Hip-hop is just, for me, or rap is just like a springboard or, to be able to get involved in different things. I mean, I've been active in the community as a member of the Nation of Islam, but hip hop or rap or entertainment, period, sports and entertainment, that's like the worm, that's like the lure, because that activist preaching thing, the youth ain't really trying to hear that. I wasn't trying to hear it. I still ain't trying to hear it. You got to put it in a way that's attractive to me, something that's is it money involved? Is some bras gonna be there? I mean, you got to really speak the language of the people. I mean, I got my own language, but I was there. I came from that. So I didn't never care about no church. I didn't care about no politicians or no political talk. No. So you got rap is that lure, you know what I'm saying, that get your attention. So, and if rap artists just, you ain't got to say the world, but just say something, drop a seed, drop a politically conscious or a thought-provoking little seed in some of your music. You still can pimp your hoes or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But, talk about something a little bigger than that. So the new project that I'm working on is called Self. I'm trying to get it out hopefully before the end of the year, maybe in the summertime. And actually I'm working on an album right now. We just finished the first single for Sway and Tech compilation that they got coming out in the spring called Back to Basics. The first single off of that is a record called I Don't Think So, produced by Focus. That's one of Dr. Dre's heat makers, you know what I'm saying, his producers. And it's featuring my homie Rondo and a singer named Tracy Lane. And that song, I mean, it's growing legs, it's catching fire right now. It's kind of like comparable to the Jadakiss record, that Y record, but it's a little more fiery. So but that's what I'm known for, firing them up, man. So I'm working on that, working on a few movies, trying to dabble in that. Just using, it's all fishing. I'm trying to get to the people. I'm trying to get to the youth that's dissatisfied, and you ain't got to be no youth. If you dissatisfied, I'm trying to get to you and give you something that, an alternative for the BS. So if we got to use an acting platform, my brother, young bro that's coming out, my protege, he also played, football. We just trying to take over sports and entertainment and offer a whole different method. Just an alternative. It's still fun. It's still gangster. It's still hood. It's still sports. It's still player, but it's positive, all of that. So that's what West Coast Cam is up to right now. What the reason why, I mean, for all of those like younger, like Snoop, Cube, Dre, all these cats, they older than me, you know what I'm saying? But just the fact that the masses, y'all know who they are, means that the media machine, is pushing them. So they must not be threatening the media machine, to otherwise they wouldn't be pushing them like they pushing. If you go to the street put your ear to any turf on the West Coast and ask about Brother Cam, and they gonna be like, that's the one right there. Not because I'm not nothing, but the streets gonna let you know the real deal. The media gonna let you know something else. But what was the question?
The question was just about how much scrutiny do you?
Oh yeah.
Do you hear from
Yeah, that's so. Yeah, so the reason why you might not heard too much from Cam is because it's by design. It's a conscious effort to keep these kind of voices silent, and push something else. If I was really in it for the money or the fame and all of that, then I would have been gone a long time ago. But fortunately, I'm in it for something else. I mean, the paper and all that come, if you do it right. But I'm not a just add water nigga. You know what I'm saying? I ain't an instant, dude. I understand the laws of nature, and if anything that's real, it's gonna take time. I gotta plant certain seeds. I gotta water them and water them and water them, and till the little ground or whatever. So the seeds that we planted now, they starting to sprout. So the roots is deep, in the streets, in the hoods, in the penitentiaries or whatever. So when I was first coming up, I seen all the cats. They becoming instant millionaires and superstars and all that. Now they dead, or they got AIDS, or they locked up. You know what I'm saying? But we still here because God blessed us to have an understanding on how to do it the right way. The key word is just patience, work, hard work, faith, and keep it true. You know what I'm saying? It's just mathematics. It ain't about preaching. Just follow 1 + 1 is 2. That's the truth. You know what I'm saying? So make everything else you do like that, and that's why Brother Cam's still here, and our star is rising right now. I'm a West Coast artist, and L.A. from San Diego to the Bay. That's all my home, and it's we suffering kind of like the same haterism. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, the machine know that the most rebellious, the most I don't give a F type, mentalities is on the West Coast. So it's a conscious effort to keep, this mentality quiet. You know what I mean? But even though they've been trying to do that, what been leaking through the cracks, influenced the whole world, the whole planet. You go anywhere on the planet right now, they following West Coast culture. You know what I'm saying? But the Bay in particular, it's so much heat out here. But since my opinion from this being like the home of the Panthers and the home of so much consciousness, it's too much of a threat, man. You know what I'm saying? It's too much of a threat. So they don't want to let artists from out here really shine. The radio stations out here don't really support their own. You know what I'm saying? We'll jump on everything else except our own, and that's because the sponsors or the radio station owners or whatever, it ain't in their best interest to wake these people up out here, because this the real valley of the dry bones. You know what I'm saying? When these soldiers hear some potent information, when you wake them up, you got a problem. You know what I'm saying? So that's my opinion about why the Bay in particular, they trying to starve them out. You know what I'm saying? They just trying to starve them out and force them to bite on that junk food, and that's my opinion about it. But it ain't gonna work because we was before this and we gonna be after this. So my opinion, this is just it's a rap show, hip hop show, but like I say, hip hop's supposed to be fueled by social issues. The conversation's supposed to be relevant to what's going on in the world. It ain't just got to be fantasy. I wish I was living or portraying an image that that we ain't really living. What's really going on in the world is war. You know what I'm saying? It's wartime. It's confusion. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of madness going on in the world. The chickens coming home to roost. The rulers of this world, is reaping what they sowed. So in particular the American government. You know what I'm saying? There's some characters in the government, and the government itself, got the potential to, that's why we got, the greatest superpower on the earth. But if you use that superpower, in the wrong way, then you got hell to pay, and that's what's going on right now. And a lot more artists should be on that page and don't conform, don't just go along to get along. You got to really make a distinction. You got to distinguish yourself today about between which side you riding with. You can't be claiming that you pimping and hoeing on one day, and then you praising Jesus. You know what I'm saying? You got a gospel album on, the next month or whatever. What's going on in the world? It's serious. It's war, and in my opinion, the Bush and these cats in the government, they anti-freedom. They talking all this war on terrorism and all of that, but the question is, who's the real terrorist? You know what I'm saying? What's the definition of terrorism? And let's see who fit that definition the greatest. Is it really Saddam Hussein? Is it Syria? Is it Iran? You know what I'm saying? To me, it looked like Bush and the government just is at war with Islam or the darker people, of the earth. And not to mention, what's going on in Africa with the manufactured biological warfare they call AIDS and HIV. So, that's what's on Brother Cam mind. That's what Cam represented. It's hard to really get that off in an entertaining way. You know what I'm saying? So we go too far with it. People get scared to death. So you got to still keep it cheerful, still keep it hood, keep it gangster or whatever. But man, that's what people really need to be talking about and thinking about, man. Because y'all gonna have kids if you don't got them already. You got mamas and daddies, you got families, and you don't want them to be shaking their ass in the next video, do you? So that's it. I mean, in 20 years from now, I hope to be still here. I don't know how many other percentage of the population gonna still be here, but hopefully, I mean, with this music, I know I'm gonna check out, whatever day, God willing, it ain't too soon. But I got children, and they gonna have children, and I want them to know that I stood for something bigger than the blinging and the madness. Try to set a foundation, a mental foundation for them to build on. To make them aware of the tricks and the traps and the history of both people, the wicked and the good. So, that's what I'm trying to achieve with this rap. That's the legacy I want to hopefully leave behind, that I really stood for something when it wasn't popular. You know what I'm saying? There wasn't no money in it for me. It wasn't no props or no fame. I did it for the cause. I tried to fight the good fight, because I know you can't take none of this shit with you. I don't care how much money you got, how much fame, how many broads. You really just being distracted from what you really here for. So, I mean, there ain't nothing wrong with luxury and money and all of that, but that ain't supposed to be your main motivation. So I just want to give, the people an alternative to walk that uphill walk and fight that good fight. I just want to let people to see that it can be done, and it's a reward for it.